There are three indispensable people without whom none of us would be here tonight, and that starts with the person who created Indiana Jones, George Lucas. The person who is Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. And the person who is the glue to all five of these films that gave us all of our rhythm and all of our melody, the great maestro, John Williams.
Hello again. Let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy.
Shit.
About 13 years have passed, and Kathleen Kennedy's abhorrent and destructive reign at Lucasfilm is possibly coming to an end. Let's do a quick look back. 2012. George Lucas sells Lucasfilm to Disney for $4+ billion. That's billion with a B. Since KK was already co-chair of Lucasfilm, both George and Bob Iger agreed she'd be a perfect choice as being named president.
San Francisco cocksucker.
2015. Her first display of running a billion-dollar IP, she decanonizes the Star Wars Expanded Universe, stating only Episode 1 to 6 and the Clone Wars cartoons as canon.
San Francisco cocksucker.
Galaxy's Edge. The new Star Wars-inspired land in Disneyland is announced.
That sounds very stylish.
Then later that year, we get the release of the much-anticipated Episode 7, The Force Awakens. In making this movie, what are the decisions she made? She said she'd ignore any ideas or consulting advice that George Lucas brought to her. Being that George ain't the boss anymore, it was her right to ignore any or all suggestions he brought to the table. Nevertheless, it does seem a bit callous, not to mention a bad PR move, in pissing off the creator of the IP and pleasing him for positive word of mouth. She tapped Jar Jar Abrams to direct. Now, this wasn't a controversial choice, and was looked on as a good pick to direct the new trilogy.
In fact, J.J. Abrams should have directed the prequels.
God damn it, are you fucking with me?
So, Jay, after talking about Star Trek, The Fast and the Furious for over 2 hours now, would you recommend this film? Yeah. I would probably say go see it.
After all that, huh?
Fucking hell.
Now, I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I never liked the fucking guy, even before he fucked up Star Trek.
Shut up!
By tapping Jar Jar to direct, he agreed to do so only if he could write it as well. And KK agreed. Again, I fucking hate Jar Jar as a director and as a writer. Case in point, look at Armageddon.
You take care of yourself.
I love you, Barry! I love you! Don't Barry! Wait a minute! I don't do that!
And you want this fuckhead to write your movie?
God damn it!
Then they hire Lawrence Kasdan to co-write, just for the name recognition, so they can say, see? We got the same writer as Empire, the best Star Wars movie ever. And all of this was done when Michael Arndt had already wrote a treatment laying out the entire story for episodes 7, 8, and 9.
What an asshole, man.
What else did KK want for episode 7? It's only obvious she wanted a female protagonist, and she wanted her to never be upstaged by any other character, especially a male character. And Jar Jar, being the company man director, he fell in line, lock and step as usual.
What else is new?
So the movie comes out. It's a complete retread of episode 4. There isn't a shred of logic that justifies the results of episode 6 to begin episode 7. They kill off Han, Luke isn't in it until the very, very end, and our main antagonist is an absolute whiny bitch. Seriously, this is the fucking best story they could come up with? And KK and Disney greenlit this shit?
This is shit, but hey.
But the movie does well in the box office. So regardless of what I think, or the lore of Star Wars, the movie is justified as it was profitable.
Hooray!
2016. Rogue One is released. A movie that tells us a story of a group of rebels that stole the Death Star plans. For the most part, the movie is okay at best, while at the same time being completely pointless and retconning Star Wars canon. Now, the part with KK's leadership. The movie was over budget and required 5 additional weeks of reshoots. Not by the director, but by the acting second unit director. Now, does that sound like she's running a tight ship over at Lucasfilm?
No.
And of course, the main character is another girl boss.
Fucking hell.
What else is new?
Then in December 2017, we get the release of Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now this was made by Rian Johnson, the guy who made Looper, which was a decent movie. And of course, the last movie ended on a cliffhanger, and now we're going to see what we've all been waiting for. Luke Skywalker.
What the hell was that?
And you already know the movie is all downhill from this opening scene. I don't need to rehash how divisive this movie was and what Rian Johnson did. It was a shit show from beginning to end. Then the end credits showed Rian Johnson was the sole writer, nobody else. So it's all his fault, right? However, this is a trilogy. How the fuck does KK allow a writer to disregard everything that came from the first movie while not setting up anything for the last movie?
Stupid!
This is the most ill-planned second movie of a set trilogy. And of course, you can see KK's fingerprints all over this fucking movie. Mary Ray, Leia Poppins, Purple Dern, and Fat Pho.
This is shit, but hey.
Now, was she so enthralled by these characters that she completely forgot that she's a gatekeeper of the story for a trilogy?
What would you say you do here?
And from this point on, page stills have been outed, and fans no longer give any future Star Wars projects the benefit of the doubt.
No! Wait a minute, man!
At the D23 Expo, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel was announced. A supposed 100% immersive experience.
That sounds very stylish.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
2018, we get Solo, a Star Wars story.
No shit.
Fan favorite character Han Solo had many novels written about his past exploits before joining the Rebel Alliance, written all the way back into the early 80s. This movie shows us his Disney Star Wars origin story.
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
Are you fucking joking?
Stupid!
So what does KK do in her position of leadership? She tapped Lord and Miller, the guys that directed the Lego movie, to direct. Now, I like the Lego movie. However, the writer tattled to KK, saying that Lord and Miller are allowing the actors to ad-lib lines and wanted to throw them off the project. When they were confronted about this, apparently Lord and Miller and KK and the writer had two completely different ideas of how the movie was to be presented. Thus, Lord and Miller were fired, citing creative differences.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
So all of that time has now been wasted, including who knows how many millions of dollars.
What would you say you do here?
And KK hires another company man director to complete the movie.
What else is new?
And so, in comes Opie Cunningham.
Shit. God damn it!
After the changes were made, it is said that Opie had to reshoot 70% of the film.
Get the fuck out of here.
Such decisive leadership from KK, yes.
I don't know why you keep hiring that fucking guy.
Then again, it's not her money. It's Disney's. So fuck them. Now at this point, I think Bob Iger might be asking some questions on why are there so many delays to these Star Wars projects.
$500,000 of my money! What the fuck is going on there?
However, Episode 7 and even Episode 8 were both profitable. I assume he let these issues slide.
San Francisco cocksucker.
Also, KK was faced with a conundrum. She can't put a female in as a protagonist. So what did she do? Well, Han is more of a pussy in general. Lando is now a pansexual that bangs droids. And Lando's droid is Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Fucking hell.
In the end, we get a shitty movie that looked like shit and was a box office disappointment.
This is shit, but hey.
What else is new?
So with Solo being a bust and the poorly received Episode 8, KK still received a 3-year contract extension.
That's fucked up.
Looking back, clearly this was the perfect opportunity to replace her, especially with D+ just on the horizon. However, Bob renewed her, whether it be because he liked the woke changes she was prioritizing or just didn't care to make a change. Who knows?
This is our most desperate hour.
Shut up. 2019. This is a big year. Galaxy's Edge opens at Disneyland. Yes, there's a replica of the Millennium Falcon, but missing are any references to the legacy characters or locales. That's right, this place isn't Tatooine. It's some new place mentioned in the Solo movie, said in passing. No Masasi Temple on Yavin 4, no Hoth Base, no Halls of Bespin, not even a Star Destroyer bridge?
Are you fucking joking?
And what are the attractions? 2 rides. Smuggler's Run, which is basically Star Tours on the Millennium Falcon, and Rise of the Resistance, which is basically a Star Wars-inspired, action-paced Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
So that's it?
Then, of course, you have your shops and eateries. No Mos Eisley Cantina, no Dagobah X-Wing rations or root leaf soup, no Death Star mess hall, no Jedi Temple lightsaber lollipops, not even Aunt Beru's kitchen. So millions of dollars were spent, and we could see a plethora of missed opportunities you can only say,
what the fuck is this piece of shit?
Now you might say, KK doesn't run Disney parks, only Lucasfilm. That is true, but do you think if she offered any input, it would have been taken with any value? Assume she said, you need to build locales that people already know about. Focus on already established characters that made Star Wars into a multi-billion-dollar IP. Of course, she didn't say it, but if she did, it could have made a huge difference.
Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
Also in this year, D+ launches.
No!
Wait a minute, man!
And in regards to Lucasfilm under KK, we got the final season of The Clone Wars and the premiere of The Mandalorian. Now, The Clone Wars is pretty good. The problem with it is Dave Filoni fell in love with his creation, Ahsoka Tano. In the show, Ahsoka, a fucking Padawan, defeats Darth Maul, goes toe-to-toe with Asajj Ventress, and later down in the line in Rebels, defeats Darth Vader.
What? God damn it, are you fucking with me?
The only thing that would fit the already established canon of the movies was for her to die prior to Episode 4, and yet she doesn't. Now we move to The Mandalorian. It was okay. It wasn't great, but it wasn't shit either. It was done by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, which sounded good at the time. Dave Filoni and his work on the Clone Wars, working with George as a story consultant, seemed like a good person to head new Star Wars shows. But as we continue on this timeline, you'll see Dave is just another company man.
Disgusting blob.
And now we arrive at the finale of the Disney Star Wars trilogy, The Rise of Skywalker. And with that title, what does it mean? Is Mary Ray a Skywalker? No. Did Luke bang some chick and then abandon her on some shitty desert scrap planet to fend for herself?
No.
She can't be a love child with Darth Vader because, well, if you remember, he got burnt the fuck. And of all of Star Wars, this is one of my favorite scenes. Now listen to what Obi-Wan says about Anakin.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
And as you see him burning on that slope, what does he do? Does he use the Force to push him into the lava to end his suffering? Does he throw his lightsaber to give him an instant death? No, he just says,
Hey, fuck him.
Leave him.
Fuck him.
Now, back to episode 9. Snoke, the main baddie, is dead. They didn't plan ahead like any normal writer writing a planned trilogy would do. So what does KK do? Colin Trevorrow is slated to write and direct the movie, but KK gives him the axe and taps fucking Jar Jar to direct again and gets Chris Terrio, the guy that wrote Batman v Superman, to write along with Jar Jar.
Fucking hell.
Granted, the story was fucked up by Rian Johnson, which KK greenlit, and you might even say that episode 9 valiantly tried to cobble together something worthy of a coherent movie. But it is a complete disaster. It's mind-numbingly stupid, devoid of any semblance of logic, and an absolute tragedy of a Star Wars film.
This is shit, but hey.
Now, do you think KK gives a shit about Star Wars? After these movies, clearly not. If she did, she would have listened to George for at the very least advice. She might have tapped Dave Filoni to be part of the writing staff, or she could have asked Michael Arndt to help them write their way out of the shit that they painted themselves into.
What would you say you do here?
But she doesn't care, and she never did. We care because we're fans of the movie and the characters. And so ends the Disney Star Wars trilogy, where the daughter of a villain usurps the name of a hero.
I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up, repugnant shit.
But we ain't done yet, my friends. KK's tenure at Lucasfilm isn't up yet.
Shit.
2020. The Mandalorian, Season 2. Same old, same old. Not bad, but not good. What's good? They bring back Boba Fett.
Fucking hell.
What's bad? They used the same fucking actor from episode 2, who's not only a shitty actor, but also now Orca Fett.
Fucking hell.
What's good? We got Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano.
Fucking hell.
What's bad? We got Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano. And then we got Luke Skinwalker in the final episode. Kinda neat, while being kinda stupid, but whatever. And finally, Gina Carano was axed due to wokeness.
Assholes.
The Mandalorian isn't a quality show. It's just content for D+. Had I looked at this show from the perspective back then, my expectations most probably would have been met.
This is shit, but hey.
2021. A spin-off of the Clone Wars cartoon, The Bad Batch. Basically, the Dirty Dozen in the Star Wars universe. That's fine. But why is the main character some little girl?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You set up this ragtag rogue group of clone troopers, and instead of following along their exploits, the story is led by them adopting this fuck kid.
God damn it, are you fucking with me?
Of course, the kid is a girl, and of course, the kid is some kind of savant or something.
I don't care.
The Book of Boba Fett. Boba Fett, one of the most popular side characters of Star Wars lore. Why was he so cool? He didn't do anything in Empire other than follow the Millennium Falcon to Bespin. But the lore behind him was cool. The Mandalorian armor, the Wookiee hair trophies, and his voice. The original voice, not the new guy.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
The show was pure shit.
Fucking hell, it is.
What else is new?
Ming Na was more badass than he was. Do you think that was a KK choice? We know it was.
Absolute cunt.
And finally, KK's contract is expiring again. New Disney CEO Bob Chapek has a shot of replacing her, and given the poor fan reactions of episode 8 and 9, episode 9 not hitting their target box office numbers, Solo being a bust, Galaxy's Edge not doing anything with increased park ticket sales, with all of that, Bob renews her contract for another 3 years.
What? What? Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
2022. The Galactic Star Cruiser is now open for business.
We would like one of your finest champagnes.
At the cost of $350 million to $1 billion.
Fucking hell.
The cost to stay? For 2 days and 2 nights. The cheapest rate for 2 was $4,800.
Fucking hell.
Again, that is the cheapest rate. Of course, the cost did include admission into Disney parks. But why would you pay $4,800 for a hotel room if you're just going to go to the park? Surely the price of the stay is worth staying in the hotel the entire 2 days and 2 nights, right?
Wrong!
The place was an absolute piece of shit, with cringe-level entertainment and pathetic interactive activities.
What else is new?
The beds didn't look comfortable, and who knows how immersive the food was. Who greenlit this shit? At that price point, who are you going to attract? Only the die-hardest of die-hard Star Wars fans would be interested, and Disney already fucked up with episode 8 and 9 in epic proportions. This ain't Jurassic Park, where guests got to see real dinosaurs. These are guests that get a tiny room with a TV as a window with a couple of bunk beds with cringe-level entertainment. Good luck selling out the hotel.
Look at this shit. What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Now, back to D+.
You mean there's more? Of course there's more. God damn it!
Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV show. We get toddler Leia ordering around a clueless and rusty Jedi Obi-Wan while being hunted by Inquisitor Dark Jedi Jemima. This show was so shitty, it made the Book of Boba Fett look like The Wire.
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit.
But just like the Book of Boba Fett, the title character isn't the main character. Another horrible story, with the titular character as a has-been. Retcons canon in an extremely negative way, with piss-poor fan service thrown in to keep our attention.
This is shit, but hey.
And right after this show, we get the best show by default, Andor.
Cholo.
A non-Star Wars story told in the Star Wars universe.
I don't care.
The show is kind of interesting, but at the same time, not interesting as a Star Wars story. There's an A plot and a B plot. The A plot is Andor, who, as we already know, will join the Rebel Alliance sometime. Then there's the B plot, which is the beginning of the formation of the Rebel Alliance. As a non-Star Wars show, it's okay, but as a Star Wars show, it's boring.
No one said anything about the Cholo.
Also, in 2022, Dave Filoni releases Tales of the Jedi, 6 animated shorts of various backstories of characters. I only saw one with Ahsoka as a little girl. Fucking pathetic. Overall, nothing special. Just more content.
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit.
And finally in 2022, CEO Bob Chapek is pushed out due to horrible quarterly results.
It's funny because it's true.
Do you think he regrets renewing KK's contract? If he doesn't, then he's more of an idiot than he already is.
You fucking child.
2023. We get another season of The Bad Batch. Unfortunately, I didn't see it. I can't comment on it at all. Maybe it was good. I don't know. But I don't care.
I haven't got time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit.
And later that year, we get the announcement that the Galactic Star Cruiser is closing its doors for good. It was only in operation for a year, and they're already shuttering? Good job, Disney!
Too bad.
And then we get Season 3 of The Mandalorian. If you want to see a show lose all the goodwill, albeit small, that was built and established from the first 2 seasons, then watch Season 3. The show is basically unwatchable. Somebody flipped a girl boss mode switch on and broke the handle. Baby Yoda is ridiculously stupid, and the main character is just a side note to his own show. Fans didn't watch the show out of interest, but rather out of awe and curiosity from the wreckage of a car crash. With Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni overseeing the show, did you think KK did anything at all? Give any input, or was on autopilot?
San Francisco cocksucker.
Granted, she may not have known Star Wars lore, and she may not have liked it, but she did accept the role as president of Lucasfilm, thus being a gatekeeper of the IP, one that cost billions of dollars.
What would you say you do here?
Then later that year, we get the anticipated show, Ahsoka. Why was it anticipated? Ahsoka is kind of a cool character in cartoon form, but she absolutely sucks in live action. A dual-wielding Padawan in cartoon form is one thing. A non-ambidextrous person acting it out in live action is another.
This is shit, but hey.
Story is fucking horrible. Fucking Star Wars Rebels characters are as annoying as the cartoon versions, if not worse. And of course, Grand Admiral Thrawn, one of the best characters to come out of the expanded universe, is portrayed by the same voice actor from the cartoon. The guy looks like shit. Why does he have a huge beer gut? What the fuck are these space whales? When did Ezra take up Islam and become a fucking Muslim?
What the fuck is going on there?
And continuing with The Mandalorian Season 3, the girl boss switch is still on and still broken.
Fucking hell, it is.
I told you.
And finally, in 2023, let's discuss Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Stop! He's already dead.
Once again, the main character takes a backseat to a psycho Mary Sue girl boss, who is literally Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Fucking hell.
A movie that tries to jam a square peg in a round hole, requiring reshoots and reshoots after failed test screenings after failed test screenings, until I think they just said, fuck it. Just use the one that tested best.
Are you fucking joking?
Instead of seeing Indy and crew riding off in the sunset, or Indy tying the knot with Marion, we had to endure an insufferable Mary Sue that isn't even a Jones by blood. 2024. So we get a few Star Wars properties. Another season of The Bad Batch. Another bunch of shorts from Dave Filoni. Some kids show called The Skeleton Crew. I didn't see any of these, nor was I interested.
Where's Pancake's house?
But the one show everybody was looking forward to watch, positively or negatively, was The Acolyte.
Yes, yes.
I love lesbians.
Fucking hell.
An absolutely horrible show that retcons the lore of the Jedi and the Force, all for the negative, in order to propagate a woke girl boss witch coven. The trailer teases Carrie-Anne Moss, but she's killed off in the first episode, leaving us with a bunch of nobodies and the guy from Squid Game. Of course, the main character is this POC girl boss who is annoying as fuck. You tease Carrie-Anne Moss and give us this?
God damn it!
And look at the males we get from this show. We get English Squid Game, Gayo Gordo, Gayo Oreo, and last but not least, Sweet and Sour Adobo. I'm not going to summarize the show, but in the end, everybody dies, except the POC and the lesbian showrunner's wife. Well, the show sucked, and people didn't like it, which the ratings objectively proved. And a few months later, the show was officially canceled.
I don't know why you keep hiring that fucking guy.
And that brings us to the present day. The rumors began when it was reported that Kathleen Kennedy will be retiring at the end of the year. With all the news and people commenting, KK actually came out of spite to say she ain't leaving the movie business. Of course, she can still be a producer and produce other movies until the cows come home, but her time heading Lucasfilm is definitely up. Taking our little stroll in the past, I do believe there is more than enough empirical evidence to show how her tenure at Lucasfilm was unprofitable for the company. Not only did she poorly manage the movies, whether it be director or writer selections, but she managed to piss off the old guard Star Wars legacy fans, while not gaining any new woke Disney Star Wars fans. The proof of this is in the merchandising sales, which have plummeted like a dead duck. The question now is, who will be chosen to replace her? KK said she is active in the discussions in selecting her new successor, but in the end, the ultimate decision is Bob Iger's to make. I believe the frontrunner is Dave Filoni, and being that he's been corrupted by woke Disney, it's a move that wouldn't right the ship out of the maelstrom, but rather just continue on maybe a little bit of a better path. In order to save the Star Wars IP, there's truly only one thing that can be done. Unfortunately, it's a choice that would never be taken, and that is to decanonize everything Disney Star Wars has done so far and recanonize the Star Wars EU prior to Disney's acquisition. Make it short, with Luke waking up and telling R2-D2 that he had a dream of some ugly witch controlling the universe and fucking up all of the goodwill that was accumulated over decades, and threw it in the trash compactor, replacing it with absurd lore, insufferable characters, stupid logic, and worst of all, no fun.
Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame.
And with that, that'll do it for this video. As the days go by, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we can all be assured that anything Star Wars will still be shit. If Disney does find a buyer for Lucasfilm, and the new owner does decanonize everything Disney Star Wars, then maybe Star Wars has a chance. I mean, what is Lucasfilm worth now? Do you think the IP is worth $4 billion and change?
No.
Do you think it went up or down in value during Disney's ownership? If it went up, why would there be rumors that Disney is trying to dump it? And if the best thing to do to increase the value of the IP is to decanonize everything Disney did, then clearly KK led the Titanic straight into an iceberg without a care in the world.
This is the way.
You stupid fucking cunt.
So thank you all for watching. And until next time.
Put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more fucking lame.
San Francisco cocksucker.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Cocksucker!
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her lame and gay.
No San Francisco cocksucker.